Welcome dear student. In one another session, myself, Mrs. Darshana Sandeep Shinde from Kekewak Institute of Pharmacy. In this session, we see the drugs acting on the respiratory system. Learning outcomes of our today's session are, after watching this video, students should be able to understand and recognize what is meant by bronchial asthma, treatment of the bronchial asthma, and drug therapy in an acute attack. First of all, we see what is meant by bronchial asthma. Bronchial asthma is a clinical syndrome characterized by the paroxysmal dyspnea and wheeze due to the increase in the airways resistance in the narrow bronchi. In this, there is a problem in the breathing and continuous wheezing due to increase in the airway resistance in the narrowing of the bronchi. The narrowing of the bronchi is due to bronchospasm, that is a spasm into our bronchi. And spasm means pain, and the edema of the bronchial mucosa. Asthma have the continuous hyperreactivity of the bronchi, which constrict due to the allergens, physical and chemical irritants, infection, psychological and hereditary factors. Asthma may be due to there are lots of reasons due to the allergy, physical and chemical irritant, dust, etc. Then infection of some kind of bacteria, protozoa, and psychological and hereditary factor is also responsible for the bronchial asthma. The asthma may be considered as the eccentric when it is associated with the family history and usually attain the episodic form. Asthma may be a hereditary one if it is considered as the extrinsic. Then in the intrinsic variety, there is no family history of the allergy and asthma is a chronic form. In an intrinsic variety, it do not have any history of allergy and it is a chronic one. That means it have a very long periods. That means patient suffering from it from a very long period. That is chronic one. The bronchial asthma leads to hypoxemia, that is decrease in the arterial oxygen tension, and the hypercapnia, that is increased arterial carbon dioxide tension. The prolonged hypoxemia causes right ventricle failure. This is the asthma inflamed bronchial tubes. The hypercapnia causes the cerebral vasodilation, mental confusion, twitching, drowsiness, and finally coma. These are the normal vessels without asthma. These are the asthmatic vessels of bronchi. Then we see bronchial asthma occurs clinically mainly in three forms. First one is the episodic form. In this form, asthma, the patient gets acute attack which are relieved and rapidly and completely by the bronchodilator drugs with no disability in between the attack. This is the episodic form. Then status asthmaticus. In status asthmaticus, the acute attack is severe, persistent and does not respond to adrenaline and aminophylline also. It is associated with the respiratory insufficiency or failure. And then last form is a chronic form. There are three forms of bronchial asthma: episodic form, status asthmaticus, and chronic form. In this case, there is a persistence dyspnea, that means there is a problem in a breathing and wheezing of the variable security acute attack occurring from time to time. Then we see treatment of the bronchial asthma. The therapy of bronchial asthma includes first, elimination of the trigger factors, that is allergens. We totally eliminate that allergen factors, avoiding the respiratory irritants such as the tobacco, smoke and chemicals. Then psychological treatment, we should also give the psychological treatment to the bronchial asthma patients for recovery of it. from the bronchial asthma. Then we use the drug therapy like the bronchodilators, antibiotic, corticosteroids. Then supportive measures can also be made. This is the normal respiratory system of human beings. Then we see the asthmatic patient. This is the normal airways. This is the asthmatic airways, and this is the severe asthma. In the normal airways muscles, this is the no airway lining. In this, in asthmatic pressure, tightened or muscles should be tight to one, inflamed lining. In this lining of the muscle is inner side is inflamed. Then in a severe asthma, severely tighten the muscles. Inner muscles are severely tightened, and muscles, excess of muscles there, and inflamed lining. Inner lining is so much of inflamed. These are these figures which explain much betterly the normal airways asthma and severe asthmatic ones. Then we see the drug therapy in an acute attack. First of all, we use the adrenaline, then isoprenaline, then ocyprenaline, salbutamol, aminophylline. These are used to treat the acute attack. First of all, adrenaline hydrochloride. Adrenaline hydrochloride is a potent bronchodilator. It relieves the bronchospasm, its action on the beta receptor. It is administered subcutaneously in the dose of 0.2 to 0.5 ml of in a 1:1000 aqueous solution. The drug is injected slowly. The relief with the adrenaline is accompanied by the unpleasant palpitation. Then care is to be taken that the tip of the needle should not be entered into the vein. Then use of the adrenaline in the patient with the cardiac disease is a dangerous one. Administration of the adrenaline immediately after the inhalation of the isoprenaline can cause the sudden death. So, use of the adrenaline hydrochloride should be careful one. Prolonged use of adrenaline may result in the adrenaline resistance. It may also block the antigen-induced histamine release, hence effective in the treatment of the asthma. Adrenaline is, that's why, effective in the treatment of the asthma, because it blocks the antigen-induced histamine release, which will be very helpful for the treatment of the asthma. Palpitation, tachycardia, tremors, headache are the common side effect of the adrenaline hydrochloride. Then dosage should be carefully adjusted in old patient and in the patient with the diabetics, hypertension and coronary insufficiency. Then we see the isoprenaline. Isoprenaline acts similarly as the adrenaline and is administered sublingually in the dose of 10 to 20 mg. It is a convenient to take. It acts as rapidly as the adrenaline one. It has the same risk of that of the adrenaline because its prominent cardiac stimulation action. It is also be given by the inhalation route. The next drug is the ocyprenaline. Ocyprenaline is effective orally, parenterally and by inhalation. It has a long duration of action and a less cardiac stimulation action than the isoprenaline. Then the next drug is salbutamol. Salbutamol is chemically related to the isoprenaline. It is a selectively stimulant baroreceptor and causes the bronchodilation and the relaxation of the vascular and the uterine smooth muscle. It is a poor cardiac stimulant one. The selectivity of the action make a useful agent for the treatment of the bronchial asthma. It is effective orally as well as by the inhalation. It has a fewer cardiac side effects and a longer duration of action as compared to the isoprenaline. Then the next drug used in the acute treatment of the asthma, that is aminophylline. Aminophylline is a highly effective adrenaline resistance patient. Those patients which are resistance get resistance towards the adrenaline, then we prefer the aminophylline for that patients. It is slowly administered intravenously in a dose of 0.25 gram in a 20 ml of the 10% of the glucose. It acts directly on the bronchial smooth muscle. It is useful when one cannot decide whether the given attack of the bronchial asthma or the cardiac asthma. If someone is confused between the attack of the bronchial asthma or cardiac asthma, then aminophylline is useful for both the cases. Then the prevention of the acute attack. Ephedrine hydrochloride, a sympathomimetic drug orally in a dose of 30 mg at the bedtime, is useful in the terminating of the nocturnal asthmatic attack. A patient who get a daytime attack need 60 mg of the dose. Then ephedrine taken later in the day causes the insomnia. Hence, sometimes combined with the phenobarbital. That's why the patient is not suffering from the insomnia. These are the some measures to are used for prevention of the acute attack. Then it may be cause the palpitation. That means taking of the ephedrine may cause the palpitation, and then difficulty is passing the urine and hypertension also. So that the ephedrine may be preparated with the phenobarbital. In this session, we cover the point what is meant by bronchial asthma, types of the bronchial asthma, treatment of the bronchial asthma of the different kinds of the drug, then drug therapy in the acute attacks. Thank you very much for attending this session.